What do the local election results in England mean for the next general election results here in Wales? And after that speech by Lee Waters in the Senedd, what next for the donation scandal plaguing Vaughan Gething's first weeks in office? Plenty to discuss and more. Welcome to Politics Wales. I'm Teleri Glyn-Jones, also coming up on the programme. But first, it's been a dismal weekend for the Conservatives. A by-election lost, high-profile Metro Mayor Andy Street's losing his seat in the West Midlands and the worst local election results in England in decades. But what does this mean for Rishi Sunak and for us here in Wales? Joining me now are Craig Williams. I mean, it's quite difficult to take any positives out of that, but you're really trying.
Thank you.
With a 17% turnout at the PCCs, can you really extrapolate from that that your vote will turn out in the general election?
I'm
Take
ready.
the blame for, after the general election. Is it easier to have him kind of in position and ready to be the fall guy for when this all goes wrong at the general election? There must be some areas of concern, though, particularly in those predominantly Muslim areas. How much of a concern for you is the party's stance on, I don't expect Sir Keir Starmer to pivot or change his position at all on foreign policy in reaction to this busy week? And as we've heard there, the Police and Crime Commissioner election was held on Thursday. Our reporter David Morgan was at the Dyfed Powys Count in Ceredigion and he caught up with Plaid Cymru's David Llywelyn as he was elected to the role for a third term. He started by asking the Commissioner why he thought turnout was so low. Police and Crime Commissioner David Llywelyn there. Well, joining me now to discuss all the election results and to offer us some insight into what it means is Wales Director at Grayling Communications. Weekend, we heard Craig Williams earlier on the programme. Careful not to sound delusional, I guess, kind of recognising the problems. But what do you... Yes, do you think... It seems to me, anyway, that Keir Starmer is trying very carefully not to put a foot wrong and is scared to give any almost... give too much away for fear of alienating either side of the argument because they've got such a lot...
This should have been a real sort of high point for him, but instead he's having to bat off these accusations over this donation row, indeed from within his own party.
And thank you so much for coming in. Well, tomorrow marks the 25th anniversary of the first National Assembly for Wales election. On Friday, I caught up with Dr Emma Schofield, editor of a new book, Woman's Wales, which looks at the impact of devolution on women working and living in Wales. I started by asking her what difference she thinks having a Welsh government has made.
A really interesting example is back in 2018, the Welsh Government.
What do you consider to be the successes of devolution and the Welsh Government?
I think that they...
And what do you think hasn't been a success?
So the stats are very clear on things, as you mentioned, educational attainment. It's stiff at the moment. And the pandemic really highlighted that, I think, until we got to the comments.
And what about some of those failures? What's gone wrong?
I think the vision...
Dr Emma Schofield, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that is it for this week. My thanks to my guests and, as always, to you for watching. If you have a story you'd like us to look at, do get in touch. The email address is bbcpoliticswales@bbc.co.uk. I'll be back next Sunday at 10, but until then, have a great week. Hwyl fawr i chi.